Hello, I'm Bradley and welcome to my video. So today I wanted to do a video in regards to a different type of hairstyle which I've chosen. Again, sometimes I really like to really make things go a little bit louder, and I like a little bit more height in my hair, a little bit more of an extreme look. And sometimes I like to link that to kind of like almost like the era around where the Grease film is kind of set. Now it sounds a little bit strange, but I've always been sort of interested in those sort of 1950s looks, as well as my favourite sort of era in the 1920s, 1910s of hairstyle, which I really wear quite a lot of the time. But today I've gone for a really high vamped volume look. Now, what I have done is start off, I'm going to run through how I've done it. I'm going to run through some of the products which I've done as well today, which I've used rather. So, how did I do this? How did I achieve it? So first of all, started off first thing in the morning, in the bathroom, when I'm all finished, washed my hair, conditioned my hair, Cenoxyl L'Oreal Professional. I have no attachment to them whatsoever, but they are a really good product range, really invigorating, really sort of scalp awakening first thing in the morning. Leaves your hair really soft, and because it's like a gel texture, it almost helps you whilst you're styling it. So then I've moved on to a product which I have covered before, but this one is by L'Oreal LV Paris, and that's a extra volume mousse, and that's 48-hour hold. That's for extra volume and lift fine, flat and fragile hair. I haven't got fragile hair, but I do sometimes have quite soft hair, so it makes it really quite flat sometimes and quite difficult to style. So perfect product to start with, absolutely. It's a really good one to start with, and it's quite inexpensive as well. At the moment I'm buying mine from Boots, okay, and that's where I usually get a lot of my products from. So then what we've done, I've used about 3 or 4 golf ball size amounts in my hands, in between my hands and up through my hair, and then I spend some time with sort of a medium size vented brush through my hair, really getting some volume in there right from the front, lifting it quite, making sure I'm holding the hair quite taut and putting it back towards my head there. I'm doing that towards the sides, but of course over, and then from the opposite side over as well. Once I'm doing that, once I have achieved the look I wanted, I do tend to leave it a little bit damp. Then once I've done that, I then go in with this product, which is by Schwarzkopf, and that's got to be powerful. It's a volumizing styling powder, and it's like a really, almost like a dust texture, a fine powder. And then I literally plaster loads through the top of my head. Once I've used the Got To Be powder, that really makes my hair a lot more texturized and a lot more easier to style. Once I've then done that, I go with my hands and really try and lift my hair up over. And you'd be surprised once you use that texture and powder, you don't necessarily need to do too much because it holds the volume up really high. So if you've got naturally quite fine flat hair, it's a perfect product to lift and makes your hair easier to style. So what I've done is I've gone in with the vented brush. I've then brushed that back towards the back of my head, and then slightly on an angled look over, which hopefully you can see from the video today. I've then gone in to finish it with Blasting Free Spray, which is my product, my go-to product. It's by Schwarzkopf, and it's Got To Be. It's really readily available, as well as going back to the Got To Be powder. You can usually buy those in the same store, and at the moment I'm buying that from Boots. And again, pretty inexpensive for such good products as well. I don't have no connection with them at all, no connection with Schwarzkopf whatsoever. It's just a real personal review, and it's something which I just want to let people know about how good it is, and it can really help you achieve those styles and those looks you want, particularly going into summer, which I know when possibly you want something quite quick, quite easy, good products are an essential to get your style on the go. So I really enjoy using those products, and they're really quite amazing. So going back to how I was finishing my style off, I've brushed it all off, slightly off to an angle to try and keep that shape, trying to keep that volume. Then I've just finished by going with my fingers and then pulling it slightly over. And then, just to define those pieces, which hopefully you can see just here, in the front here, I then go in with one of my favourite products at the moment, which is by VO5. It's a lifting paste. So that says outstanding lift and full hair reworkable hold. It's like a paste, so what I do then is just take a small amount, and then you can literally grab each section or each piece and then lift that over and then finish it with the glued spray, which is actually called glued. It's a blasting free spray, and that gives such a sort of a cemented hold. It's really fantastic. You may have picked up from a lot of my videos already, I'm not really a fan of loose hairstyles which flap around everywhere throughout the day. I really like it to be sort of quite firm, quite solid, and then I'm ready to go. So hopefully you think that looks quite good. I have to admit, with this type of hairstyle, a really good sleek haircut is half the battle. It really is. So again, I've had my haircut now about a week. At the bottom here I'm about a 0.5. I imagine it's growing out a little bit now, and then into a 1, and then I do tend to keep sort of like a defined line both sides. Hopefully you can see that here, and then towards the back I have it arrowed in that nice arrow shape at the back there. So then when I'm drying the hair up, and then I try and gather it back, it's a bit of a point at the back there, which I really like at the moment. So again, hope you really like this style. It's a lot of volume, a lot of texture in there. I think it looks quite sort of almost suave, quite sophisticated almost. I have sometimes worn this look with a nice smart suit, and again really quite casual with the clothes I've got on today as well. So I think it's a really must. Give it a try. It's really great, and it doesn't take too much to achieve it. So thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm sure we'll be back soon. Thanks.